Welcome back to this Bazar Holidays journey and the 5th episode, and it's our last of the series. I saved my favorite subject especially for this last episode. It's a conversation about a mutual love of owls with Faith Zimmerman, who creates beautiful owl creatures to sell at holiday bazaars. What makes these owls especially cool is that they're all made from recycled material. In fact, Faith told me she so rarely goes to the craft store that she got kicked off the mailing list. It's a pleasure to find someone else who loves owls just as much as I do, and we start our conversation where she got started, in a crafting journey that all leads to these Bazar Holidays.
First was she was our Girl Scout leader, and we had to get a badge, so we had to make an apron.
Oh, that's a good first craft, because that leads to other fun things like baking.
Right.
Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about the apron you made.
Oh, it's just a plain, with a band, a long band that you tied in the back and a square front with a pocket. So they're, nothing fancy, just something that we used every day.
Are you just as crafty in the kitchen as you are with fabric and material?
I try to be. I just made an apple pie just the other day, but yeah, I like to try new things in the kitchen, just like I do with sewing.
So talk to me about your sewing process. Where do you do it, and when do you do it, and kind of what goes through your head as you're working on your projects?
I do it in our family room a lot. That's where I do my cutting out and going through magazines and books to see what I want to do next. And then I actually have a small room where I have the sewing machine is set up, and so I sew up there. And then down the hallway, I have a piece of felt up on the wall so I can put a quilt up there so I can see what it looks like and how to maneuver it.
Oh, that's awesome. You've got quite the setup.
Yeah, I really do. It's nice. I even have one section where I do beads. I make everything from the Christmas ornaments where I put beads on the outside of Christmas balls.
Oh, that's festive.
And also, I make jewelry, but mainly for myself.
I love that. So let's delve a little deeper into the stuff that you sew. What are some of your favorite things to sew?
My owls, I think. I have made so many owls. And it's just because every one of them is different. And I have got so many projects going, and so the owls, are sort of like a backup. I can just go back to them and keep going.
Faith, that's what attracted me to your booth at Ladybug, is because I love owls.
Ah.
And I have a little character that I write children's books with, and have a craft kit that I sell for therapists to use as part of occupational therapy. And his name is JJ Owl. And so that's what I immediately, when I saw your booth and I saw your gorgeous owls, I knew that's when I wanted to talk to you.
I don't know whether I had any there or not. I started putting glasses on them, which you just made out of paper, but...
You did. I saw them. I took a picture of one of them. It was so
okay.
Cute.
Because it gave him a little more character, and you see that one advertisement on TV, and the guys, the owl's got the glasses on.
Yeah.
He's funny.
What do you like about owls? What attracted you to that?
Actually, what really it started is my sister-in-law was making different things. She does Santa Clauses, and which you've probably seen at the bazaar also. But And it's like, I told her, I said, well, I want to make something for the bazaar, something different, something that I do. And so we were going through a catalog from somewhere, and I took out a page. Actually, I think I made a copy of it. A page that was in there that had these 3 owls. Well, my owls don't look anything like those 3, but it got me started. And then I thought, she also does the bazaar where everything has to be refurbished. And so I was like, well, it's easy. I've got all these, like sweaters that have holes in it, and so I've cut those up, and jackets, and people have given me, one lady gave me this coat. I can't remember what she said it was, but it isn't anyway. But it was just like white fur.
Oh, man.
And so I have made several owls with that. Which, gives them a different character, so.
Yeah, there's a little bit of life in them then, some real lived life.
Yeah. And I can look at each one and say, okay, that one was a sweater, that was a coat, that one over, the eyes were from something totally different. I do a lot of sweaters.
Yeah, that's perfect for an owl.
Yeah.
So talk to me, when you're making these owls, that seems to be, I love that you said that's sort of your escape or your go-to, where you can kind of, it's your old reliable. So why is it your old reliable, and where does your head go, your mind and kind of your body? Where do you go to when you're making these owls?
Well, my sewing machine is perfect right in front of a window, so I'm sort of like out there exploring, I guess, and trying to see what I can find. I don't know, it's just strange.
No, I love that. I love when I have a beautiful view of the Columbia River out my window, and it's so relaxing. Describe for me what you see out your window.
Out that one is our backyard, and so it's everything from, flowers to a lot of rhododendrons that are really, really tall. They're all different.
Beautiful.
And they all bloom at different times, and they're taller than the house. I mean, they are really old.
Oh, that's amazing. What's your favorite color of the rhododendrons?
It's sort of a purple color. It's called a blue Peter, but it's purple.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't make sense, but okay.
No, my favorite is the purple too.
Yeah, and then we got this one huge pink one that's got big, big flowers on it.
And it's the official state flower of Washington State.
Right, which makes it neat.
Yeah, I love it. A little bit of connection there. How do people react to your owls when they see them? I mean, I obviously reacted and loved them. I thought they were immediately some of the cutest things I had seen at the bazaar. But what sort of other reactions do you get?
Well, I remember, or before the pandemic, a few years ago, this woman came across and she said, I seen that owl, those owls up there on the top, clear across the place. I just had to come and see them. They are so adorable. And then, of course, she bought one, which was fun.
Right. That's always, you got to make the sale.
Well, yeah, that helps.
That does help.
That they're so different. People are buying them for other people that love owls, and that they're cuddly, which is like, okay, I don't think of owls as cuddly, but...
Right. That's kind of my favorite thing about owls is they kind of have that dual personality. They look cuddly, but, don't make them mad.
You're right. For sure.
It's kind of like me.
True.
So you talked to me about how you came about to make owls, but how long ago was that? And then talk to me about sort of that evolution of like when you first sort of tore that page out of the catalog into where we are today.
Okay, it's probably, as near as I can remember, about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And my first ones were really, really different than what they are now. Although they did sell, so I guess they weren't too bad. But, I look back and I've got a couple from way back. And I look and it's like, oh, you guys need help. Something. So... and I love looking through different books and craft books. So you'll see owls and things in there, and I get different ideas. And I think that's why they keep changing all the time.
Yeah, I love that. So I have to ask the question because, and then I'll give you my answer too. But how many owls do you have in your house?
Right now?
Yeah, like that are yours.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's just on display. So there's got to be another in that bag. Another 10. I've got, 20 some, and then I've got some at my sister-in-law's.
You've got quite the roost.
I do.
So do I. I don't even want to start counting the number of owls I have. It might get dangerous.
Yeah, and then I have some that I have, had to buy because I thought they were so darling. So. Yeah,
I've got owls I've made and owls I've bought, and some may call it an addiction. I call it a passion.
Everybody needs to collect something.
Well, I collect one too many things. 10 years is a long time to stick at something. So what keeps you at it? What keeps you making the owls?
It doesn't make any difference where I put them. Somebody always finds them and buys them. I've been doing volunteering for bingo at a local restaurant, and I would bring in an owl for one of the gifts, and it was one of the first things that always went. So to me, as long as people still like them, I'm enjoying making them. So
yeah,
I like to see what comes out, from different things. Like I've got cut out a vest. I cut out a body, and I had to put something on the back because it was the ugliest vest I've ever seen. That somebody had crocheted or knitted. Really different.
Yeah.
Different owl.
Yeah, I bet. So you talk to me, you use old sweaters, you use, basically anything you can find, but do you also go to the craft store?
Not very much. And I didn't realize how much I didn't go until, like Joanne's always sends you out these flyers, and they quit sending them to me because I never went.
You got kicked off the list.
So.
Oh my. You're making a lot of decisions for each owl as you go along. What guides you? How do you make those decisions?
I have one here right now that is made out of blue jeans. And he's just, I look and I found in a box of some jewelry I'd bought at a garage sale or something, and they're ugly. But it looks like what would you call it? A shield or something. And it's like, that'll fit him. And, and I remember different things that I've got stacked away and so I just pick out things and I try it on it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Right, it's a little bit of gut instinct.
Yeah.
So how do you know, for you, like what makes it work and what makes it doesn't work?
I don't know. It's just sort of like a trial and error. I put it on the owl, and then I look at it and decide whether I like it or not. It's just trial and error.
Such is life, right?
Yes, right.
So I want to talk about, you mentioned something that I think is genius, and I might steal from you, is the craft foam bottom so that it stands up. How did you come up with that innovation?
My sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah?
What she does it for her Santa Claus. And what she does, well, both of us, we just make a circle. And then the fun part is getting it cut out of that craft stuff. And then we just take material and make it bigger than the circle and then just heavily sew the bottom so it's real tight.
And then they have no problem standing up? Do you have to weight them down at all?
No, they do not. There's no weight, and they have no problem standing up.
I love that. That's a really great idea.
Yeah, it's quick. It's something that you can do. Cut out a bunch of them, and then get whatever material you want to put on it. Which I use a lot of sweaters and whatever scraps left, and then set in front of the TV if you want, and just stitch back and forth and draw it real tight.
Do you find that same thing, that sometimes crafting can be kind of meditative for you?
Oh, yes. Some of them are definitely, it really helps you just don't even think about it. You're just sewing.
Right. I always describe to people that something happens when your hands, your head, and your heart are engaged in something, and you just sort of go to some other place.
Right.
When did you figure out that these owls were something that could sell, that other people wanted?
Probably the first bazaar I went to, and I thought, I didn't think they would even probably sell. They were crude. I hadn't seen anything like them. I just wasn't sure about them, and they sold. And so it's like, okay, I need to make a few more for the next one, and just kept going.
So you said your first ones were a little bit crude. How so? Describe to me what they look like.
I cut them out, no pattern, just sort of freehand, what I thought an owl would look like. I tried all kinds, I was trying to be fancy with them, and my opinion, too many things on the wings, and tried to make something like tail feathers in the back that wasn't working well at the time. So, and since I have done them better, but I don't know.
I think that's the best part of crafting, is that it's endlessly evolutionary.
Yeah.
You can always improve upon what you've done, or invent something totally different.
True.
Have you ever been tempted to branch out from owls? No pun intended there with the tree branch reference, but branch out to something else?
I have done. I've made snowmen. I've made frogs. I just got through making up a whole stack of those, what are they called? Potato, where you put your potato in it and then cook it in the microwave.
Oh, I don't know if I know about these.
Oh, really? Oh, they're great. You can use them, put like a tortilla shell in there, put that in the microwave. It keeps the moisture in, so things don't dry out. So you can do corn on the cob.
And it steams it, it sounds like. Your
baked potato is super fast.
Oh, I need one of these.
Yeah.
Who knew that we would start talking about owls and end up with a lesson on cooking a potato? It's just more proof of the imagination, creativity, and innovation that crafters bring, not just this time of year, but all year long. I really hope you've enjoyed this Bazar Holidays journey, because I've really enjoyed bringing this passion project to life. So with this last episode in this series and this week leading to Christmas, thank you for listening. And thank you to the crafters who shared their stories with me. You can find me on Instagram at Jordan J. Frasier and at jordanjfrasier.com. Until the new year and my next series, I wish you a happy and healthy Bazar Holidays.